My name is Amber Reed, R-E-I-D, birthday 12/27/90. I'm turning 32, but like I'm almost positive my like mental age, like my brain is stuck at 17. I'm actually starving, so okay, yes, I troll. Whatever, Trollin has entered the chat. I'm totally fine with a clickbait title because you guys know I love me a clickbait title. You're not paying attention to your health, you don't care about your health, you don't care about your body, you want to die, etc., etc. You could have ate healthy, you chose not to. Do you really need to go on vacation? You buy health insurance instead. I just don't want to hear it.
No one cares!
Hey guys, Grüße aus Deutschland, greetings from Germany. It is Friday evening and I see that Homegirl has posted another video. You gotta give her that. She's steady with her new uploading schedule and it's kind of paying off. I mean, you gotta give credit where credit is due. And if we look at her social blade, then she is successful at not seeing her channel slip down more into oblivion. And since I've been covering that, you know, the social blade situation, she's gone down from 3,600 euros a month down to 2,900, and then she went back up to today 3,100. And so the uploading every other day seems to be working, probably because people are still hanging on her lips about what she's gonna do now. Is she gonna admit, yeah, I was never serious about weight loss surgery and I'm just gonna stuff my face until I croak, you know, that kind of stuff. But she never does. She keeps, you know, having superficial TED Talks and but hey, whatever works, and it seems to be working. And let's see what she has to say this time.
Hello, welcome to my new vlog.
Good evening. What are we looking at here?
We're starting off with the saga from my last video. The New Balances didn't fit, so I was searching for a pair of shoes online. Torrid.com. Of course, Torrid.com. So I found these shoes. These are the active mesh sneaker and they are wide width and they have my size. So I'm trying to decide if I should do a 9 or 9.5. I think I'm gonna go with a 9.5. I really like these, so I'm gonna get these.
I remember telling her back in 2019 already that the little ballerina shoes that her feet were spilling out of, she's not doing herself a favor with, especially since she was wearing them without any socks, and so that only added to the smell in that house. But I'm glad she finally made her way to buying herself sneakers, because at that weight, I mean, imagine what her feet are carrying. She has to have excellent support.
Okay, you guys, so I just finished It Ends With Us.
Yeah, I'm gonna cut that out. So this appears to be the next scene.
Hello, so it's been some hours since we last spoke. I had a email from my dietitian. I don't know if you guys remember, but I said how she's gonna be talking to the surgeon one-on-one kind of about me as a patient. And then she was gonna call me and let me know what like they think the next step of action should be. I don't know, I'm kind of like confused by it, but I actually got an email from her saying that the meeting between them was canceled because the weather here is really bad. We have tornado warnings. The wind is the worst I've ever seen, like in my actual life. And the power keeps flickering in and out here. And I have a security camera that has like a community around it, and literally every, like, I would say 30 seconds I'm getting a notification saying how a tree has fallen, people's power's out. So it's a very scary time where I live right now. It's like the whole city is falling. And
Oh God, drama queen.
And I think it's like panning out through the whole state, plus the states around me. So everyone at the weight loss clinic that I go to, I think is like being sent home because it's really scary weather right now.
That is so odd. You know how she never remembers her lies? And I believe what she said about the weight loss clinic is when she first introduced us to that thought again, right? Back in what, December? Is that they're going to have to drive out of state. It's going to be a whole day. And now she's saying that they're hit by the same weather. And so we're getting closer to her having to admit or slipping up that that weight loss clinic is actually only a few minutes away from her. Good for us, bad for her credibility.
My hair is so frizzy. I washed it last night. This is what happens. It's so
You also run some kind of plastic brush through it, and that usually kills it.
gross. Like after I brush it, like I wash it, I let it dry, I put it in a bun, and then brush it, and it just gets so frizzy. Ugh. Right now I'm just like grateful that I have power because a lot of people are losing power and getting hurt right now, and it's just very scary. So I think I'm actually gonna not even continue vlogging today just in case the power goes out in total. I want to keep my, because I'm filming from my phone, I want to keep my phone fully charged. So I will see you guys tomorrow.
I can live with that.
Hello, it is the next day and I'm about to just do a little bit of light makeup. So yeah, the weather last night.
I like that top. I'm not kidding you guys. I mean, on her, I would not wear something like that. Looks like something my grandma would have worn, but I like it on her. I like the color.
I'm worried about a lot of the people, especially in my city. It was bad. Like, obviously nothing bad happened to me and Feline.
Well, that's always the most important part, right?
But a lot happened in my city. Like, like that's nervous laughter because I was so scared last night. We actually had to bring in everything from our porch.
Okay, I don't get it. Why is she nervous? She lives in an apartment complex, and no trees can fall into her window. She's not going outside, so what is she scared of? Losing power so that she can't vlog anymore? Oh my gosh, that would be bad if they lost power for like a few days. Yeah, that would suck for her. And also, if you lose power, you can't do online orders anymore, and you physically have to go where the merchandise is. I guess that's what is shaking her up right now.
Because everywhere around me, everyone's everything was just flying everywhere. It was really scary.
She is always exaggerating, Jesus.
And a lot
Can you imagine her being a news reporter?
of people got hurt and trees fell on people and cars and homes. It was very scary. Our power did flicker like a lot, but gratefully so, we didn't actually lose power. Very, very lucky in that regard because most of where I live lost power. It was just hard to fall asleep last night because all I could think about is like the people like affected because like literally just in Oklahoma, I don't know, like a week ago, my mom lost power for 3 days.
I remember those times in Virginia. I was living out in the country and we lost power so often. And even though we live 220 miles inland, every time a hurricane came up the East Coast, it seemed like we were losing power, and it was bad.
3 days because the weather was so bad. It's just, life is scary.
Hers is not really.
And it's just crazy because, like, all of the little tiny problems that people are, like, always blowing up to, like, something bigger than, like, what it needs to be.
Oh, like she does?
It's just, there's such bigger issues in the world. So I started another book. I know a lot of you don't like read and stuff, but
I love to read, but I can't stand people talking about reading books that they don't read.
I do want to like sprinkle reading material throughout my vlogs.
Yeah, that sucks for me because I have to cut it out of the middle of her vlog. And so I'm cutting this part out too. I think now she's done talking about the book.
It's 9:36 a.m. So far I've just showered and read a little bit because it puts me in like a good little headspace, you know? So.
You know what also does? Moving. It gives you the happy hormone in the brain.
So today is Saturday, so regarding my dietitian, talking to my surgeon.
Wait a minute, she says today is Saturday and she posted on Friday. Huh? Yeah, I don't even care.
That's probably not going to happen until next week. So I'm not going to get any more answers or anything till then. So I will make sure to keep you guys updated. I've had a lot of people tell me that I should like see if I can get weight loss surgery with a different program because some of you.
Who would tell her that? Who would tell her that? I don't think anybody said that. Because by now everybody in her audience has got to be aware of the fact that the only thing that makes sense for her is inpatient care. But now she can't afford it anymore. She could have afforded it like a couple of years ago. That time has come and gone, and here we are. But people recommending to go with a different weight loss surgery program. What?
We're like, actually, I'm not even going to say some of you. A lot of you are in my DMs telling me that this is like the strangest thing they've ever heard because...
No, girl, it is not. All you gotta do is use common sense and logical thinking. You are still overeating, and if you're not gaining any weight, then you're still maintaining because you're still all swollen, your skin is stretched, and we can tell you're not losing any weight, and any weight loss doctor can too. And so why go with a different program? Why not finally take that step that you haven't taken in I don't know how long to just lose weight, try to improve or get some self-control, self-discipline and restraint, and not overeat on the daily. There's no way around that. No way.
Like, weight loss surgery is supposed to help with binge eating.
Okay, but you gotta have some kind of self-control prior to being approved. And no doctor would ignore that fact.
And a friend of mine, if you're watching, hi, said something that really, I was like, oh wow, that makes a lot of sense. She said, it feels like or seems like having me wait a whole year is like telling a drug addict, I want you to be a whole year sober before you go into rehab, you know?
Let me think about that. Yeah, I don't think you can compare the two. I don't think you can. But I'm not sure how to explain it. It does make sense that in order for the doctors to change your body so that you can't eat much anymore, you have to be able to not do it for a while. Maybe in her case, like she's been overeating for decades, she needs to be able to find different ways to occupy her time with, because apparently she's eating most of the day. Even if it's just a small portion, she's constantly eating. Otherwise, she wouldn't look the way she does. And again, I'm saying this with all due respect because if you weigh 500 and something pounds and you're not losing any weight, you you have got to have a massive calorie intake every single day. And so I don't think you can compare it. And I don't think she's telling us the whole truth. And this is only, this is like mind twisting. So I'm only commenting on what she's trying to sell us here. You know, the narrative that she's actually interested in weight loss and getting weight loss surgery. I believe she's not. I believe all she's interested in is making money so that she can continue to overeat until her very last day, just like Jennifer Gwen Ann. And so, given though that her narrative is true, it only makes sense that the doctors want for her to be able to deal with emotions in a different way than just overeating. And she keeps admitting on her channel that she has no self-restraint. And so I don't know how to explain the whole thing, but I don't think you can compare that to them saying if this was an alcoholic that they'd have to be sober for an entire year. No, because you have to eat, but you don't have to drink alcohol, you know. And so you have to learn how to restrict, not, yeah, well, restrict, but in a healthy way, your portions to a degree where you can lose weight, because you're going to have to restrict after the surgery too. So it makes a lot of sense that doctors expect you to prove that you're able to do it prior to approving you for weight loss surgery. There you go.
Like, that was a really good metaphor, and I was like, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think so. I hope she's going to think about that. But she didn't. She just, posted on her channel without thinking about it.
It kind of does feel that way.
Yeah, I'm sure it does, because you always want the cheap way out, the easy way out, the taking a pill instead of, the vitamin D, even though it helps. And again, I'm taking vitamin D pills too, especially in the wintertime. Um, but it would help to go outside. Maybe not in a storm, I give her that. But the past 20 years or whatever, let's just say on her channel, she used to go out more. I mean, she lied about the working hours she had, like, I'm working 12 hours a day, and that was all a lie. But she had the chance to go outside a lot more than most of us. Like, I work in an office, I'm a receptionist, and so you can't just say, yeah, I feel like, tanking some vitamin D today, and so I'm gonna go outside. You can't. You're stuck in the office. And so, yeah, but she's always, the kind for the easy way out, popping a pill instead of actually working on herself. And so, yeah.
Like, I don't binge in the definition that they say.
I don't know how often she has to go back to binge eating when all she does is overeat.
Like, 3 times the amount of food you normally eat. Like, I've never.
I wish she'd also stop repeating that, because that is bullshit. Did she read that online? I don't think any doctor at a weight loss clinic has said that. Because somebody like her has a calorie intake of what, 4,000 at least? And then you gotta multiply that by 3 in order to diagnose her with a binge eating disorder, or to say that she has binge eaten. I don't think so.
Done that, and people are coming out of the woodwork saying like how binging is like you get so desperate you eat the condiments in your home. What? I've never done that.
Because you don't have binge eating disorder. Because you just eat because you have no other way to fill your time and no other way to deal with any kind of emotions, including boredom.
I only ever want to eat like junk, and that's why
I feel. That's why I feel, girl.
like, I mean, this is obviously my fault, as well. I just don't feel like I binge, and
Because you don't, so stop saying it. It's a slap in the face of those that suffer from binge eating disorder every time you mention it.
I'm just starting to like see it more clearly now, because like I don't think I've ever wanted to look further deeper into, hey, is this binging or is this just a food addiction?
Good for her. I hope she actually does it.
I never wanted to take the time to do that. So
No, you just wanted to flap your jaws on your channel and self-diagnose with another disorder.
it was always just so much easier. I hate how this eyebrow is darker, but it doesn't look like that in person, but on camera it does.
Don't worry about that. They look like clown makeup every time.
It was just so much easier to just be like, yeah, I binge.
Yeah, that's what I've been saying. But we always know we know that every epiphany in quotation marks that she has never lasts long.
It was like denial, you
Exactly. That's what it was.
know? It's just a lot easier to say that instead of like, no, what's really going on, you know?
Exactly. And it's also, and now that you've realized it about that part, maybe you can realize that when you say you have like ADD or whatever, all these other mental disorders, and they cause you to do certain things that justify the horrific things you did on your channel and in your life, apparently, because you filmed it in the past, that maybe you slowly get to a point where you start taking responsibility for what you say and do.
I was just trying to fall onto something, and by doing that, I have actively ruined my future.
And you've actively ruined your reputation and your relationship with your audience because you kept blaming them for your failure at weight loss. And the last time that backfired was when the French-speaking community sent from the butt lady came over and flooded your comment sections under several videos. I've heard, I don't know, I don't click on her videos, flooded your comment sections with positive comments, and not even that helped you lose weight.
So, I'm gonna do my eyeliner after I talk to y'all. I think this is a good example that like you can't fall back on things. If you want to get help, you need to be very honest with, you know, professionals, but with yourself.
You need to be honest with yourself first. And then you go to, specialists and experts because they can tell when you're lying anyway.
Very, very honest. And I'm learning the hard way that living in delusional land and denial land gets you nowhere.
Nope, it ruins your life, it ruins your reputation, it ruins your YouTube channel.
And it's easy to sit there and be like, yeah, I eat a large quantity of food and I feel guilty afterwards. You know, it sounds like binge eating. But realistically, I eat a large quantity of food because that's how I've been since I was a child. I just
There you go. Bingo was his name.
eat large portions. And I feel guilty afterwards because I don't like being fat. So it's like, I don't know, there's such like it's not black and white. There's like this fine gray area. And it frustrates me because like weight loss surgery is just like continuously and constantly on my mind because I want it so bad.
Well, if you want it so bad, then why don't you eat a little less and give your body the well-deserved break?
And it's like, should I go to another program? Because
No, you should stick with this one and start losing weight.
a lot of people are telling me I should.
I don't think so. I think this is made up.
And it's like, I really trust in, you know, the people that I'm seeing now, but this is a very big change in my life that I want, that I need, and it's to save my life. And right now, I stay confused.
I can tell. It's hard to watch these vlogs, even just the parts where she talks about real feelings or thoughts.
I just stay confused because misdiagnosing someone, it does happen.
It's a common thing that happens, obviously. I just went through the whole lung debacle where we thought it was one thing, the doctors thought it was one thing, turns out it was something else.
No, I think it's your lack of ability to listen to people. Because you have a very short attention span, you cannot repeat things, you cannot even pronounce words the right way. And even when you're told how they're being pronounced, you still must pronounce them in the future. I think your problem is you hardly ever go to doctors, and when you do go, you get out of the office with only what you can remember, and then you mix it with your fantasy of what you wish they had said. You know, and so, yeah, I think she needs inpatient care.
And getting misdiagnosed is very common. My whole, like, I had uterine cancer, and I'm sure everyone
No comment on that, but I am thinking about making a video about it. I'll talk about it at the end of the video.
who watches knows that. And I went to the doctor for the symptoms that I was having. I went to the ER, and I always left with the same diagnosis, a UTI. And that was something that I went through for a couple years. It was always a UTI. And that's a complete misdiagnosis because it was cancer the whole time causing those symptoms. And ever since I had a hysterectomy, I've never had a single one of those symptoms again. And it's frustrating that being misdiagnosed is a thing and can happen, but it's also common because doctors, psychologists, psychiatrists, they are not robots at all. So yeah, okay, I'm just back to rambling.
Yeah, you are. But what I wanted to say about that is, yes, doctors do misdiagnose patients, but you don't become so much the victim of it if you are in touch with your body, if you have a active relationship with your body. And so when okay, at that size that she's sitting in front of us in, it's hard. But when you know your body, then you know there are certain symptoms and they might be an indicator for something. And so when the doctor gives you a diagnosis, you can always go on the internet and Google it and say, I don't know, or I have a feeling that's not what that is. And you can go back to the same doctor, which is never what you did. You always went back to other doctors hoping that they would give you a different opinion. That's when they told her she's doctor shopping and that whole spiel. But if she had kept going to the same doctor saying, I don't think that's what that is, can you check for this, please? And since she pays out of pocket, she didn't have health insurance, they probably would have done it, right? Because they want to make money anyway. But I think her biggest problem is that she has no connection to her body. She just runs her mouth. And once in a while, when she walks by, like at Michael's, was it at Michael's when she walks by mirrors, all of a sudden it hits her, oh, holy smokes, that's my body. But other than that, she stated it on her channel. She only sees herself from like the boob area up. And so she must not be changing her clothes a lot of times because that would make it clear to her like, oh my gosh, look at my legs. Like, maybe she's watching YouTube videos while she's getting dressed, or I don't know. But there's a detachment between her body and her mind. And I think that is part of the reason why she's so confused and why she thinks that she's been misdiagnosed when she doesn't even have the ability to concentrate for long enough to listen to a doctor.
About weight loss surgery. Again, I swear that's not what these vlogs are going to be. I just feel like I want to express myself a little bit more. And
yeah, I think it's just an attempt to get the views back up. They're not going back up. But your income is steady at about 3,000 now, which is nothing. I mean, guys, try to imagine you have 3,000, let's just say dollars, because euros is roughly dollars. Let's say she's making $3,000 a month now, which is nothing compared to what she made before. Like in 2019, I'm gonna pop up screenshot here from Social Blade. All right, so what we're looking at here is a Social Blade a screenshot from 2019, from April 2019. That was the time when she lost thousands of subscribers because she couldn't keep running her mouth to her audience, and they left. And so what you see here at the bottom, in the bottom line, it says daily averages. And so let's just take that amount on the far right. Estimated earnings, 380 euros daily, times, let's say 30 days in the month is around $11,000 or euros. And so that is something you can comfortably live with. But she only has 3,000 left as an income. And so let's say 3,000 minus the taxes, minus the rent, minus the electric bill, minus Hulu, Netflix, and whatever else she has, minus all the food she has to buy in order to stay this big. And then she has a cell phone plan, and then YP probably has one that she's paying for by now. Who knows, right? Maybe she helps out with the expenses for the car. Who knows? $3,000 is not a whole lot of money, and so yeah, she's no longer in a good situation.
Right now, I'm just like, I'm very mad at myself because I feel like I exaggerated my food issues because I was in such denial that I exaggerated my food issues when I first started seeing a psychologist because I thoroughly believed that I had binge eating. And it's like the more I actually learn about it and the more I actually learn about myself, I don't binge.
No, you don't.
I don't binge. And I know a lot of the haters are like,
quit calling them haters.
You're just saying that so you can get weight loss surgery. No, I'm saying that because I'm finally choosing me.
You've always been choosing you the entire time on your channel.
Wanting to be healthier. I'm finally wanting to understand.
No. If that was the case, then you would have lost some weight. You would have moved more. You wouldn't have ridden those scooters at Walmart and Target. And you wouldn't have lied to justify your laziness and gluttony.
Understand myself more and why I am the way I am. And it's like this whole time I've been so blind to that. Like even towards the end of like seeing a psychologist, like there were several times where in my head I was like, there's no way that I have binge eating. And this was before I even wanted weight loss surgery. And it's like I'm just more aware now that I don't binge at all. I overeat a lot. Yes, I do, because I have a bigger stomach.
I'm glad to hear her say that, because that's what I've been thinking since I started watching her.
Someone my size has a bigger stomach. So I overeat and I obviously feel guilty about it. Like anyone who overeats who is at a higher weight is going to feel guilty about it. That's point blank.
Okay, that's the end of the video. Unsuspected, but still good news. And so there you have it. I'm a little bit stunned. I'm a little bit speechless. This didn't seem so fake as when she usually talks to us or talks down to us. I think she might be on something. I'm not sure if this is for views. That she finally gets the point. I mean, I'd have to be ignorant to say that she can never change. I don't see it happening because so many times on her channel I thought, this is the right tool, pay attention to this. I was thinking to myself, right, like, this is the right tool, use this is gonna help you, because it's things that actually help me. Like, for example, I gotta see if I can find the picture. She held a book into the camera a self-love workbook, right? And I was like, yeah, she's got it, so I don't want it. But I really found the book intriguing, and I actually wanted to get it. Then I was watching a live stream of Kicking Geese, and her sister showed up saying that she's currently working on that book. She's, filling out the prompts and stuff. And then I got myself the book, and that book really helped. Like when you go inwards, this is what I repeat ad nauseum on my channel, that she needs to self-reflect. Like, she says she hates herself. Why does she hate herself? Just because of the looks or because of what she represents? If it's okay, so the looks are not going to change until she changes her eating habits. If it's something about her personality, what exactly is it? And then you dive deeper, like, okay, so it is that I lie to my audience. Why do I lie to my audience? Because I have so much to cover up. Or because I think that I'm more important than the audience, and so I don't care about their feelings. I need to make money to overeat until I found a different way. If she was like progressing like that, like making progress like that by self-exploration and self-reflection, then this would be an interesting channel to watch. But she's still spinning in circles, and it's always the same over and over again. But several times on her channel she did mention things where I thought this could be where she wakes up, but she never did, or never for long. I mentioned earlier in the video that I would like to make a video about her supposed cancer, which I have repeatedly stated on my channel. I think she used that for clickbait. I think it didn't happen. I think she didn't have it. I'm not a healthcare professional. I never examined her, but as an empath, I can tell that it was lies, and her stories didn't add up, her timeline didn't add up, and healthcare professionals in the comment section at the time stated that you can drive a truck through the holes in her story. And so I think she had some kind of surgery, but it was not related to cancer. She only clickbaited it because her views were way down and she needed something else to clickbait. And I would love to make a video about it and line up all the lies that she told and everything that didn't add up. But at the same time, I would also not like to give her the views. And in order to make that kind of video, I would have to go back and actually watch her videos and give her the views. And I do not want to do that. And so while I'm trying to bring light to the whole thing and also add a clip of a video that I watched on Nicocado Avocado's channel, where he very directly hinted at the fact that Amberlynn Reid never had cancer, I'm not going to do it, simply because I don't want to give her the views. And also rewatching all of her lies would just not be good for my mental health. That is what I meant to say earlier, but I didn't want to pack it in the middle of the video. And also I have gotten a comment from Shelly that requested that I put pictures next to each other, what Amber looked like at her highest weight and what she looks like now. And she is getting pretty close. I mean, 2019 was her highest weight. She looked extremely large and just horrible. It was horrible to watch her get big like that. But I do have, of course, screenshots and pictures of her from that time and from now, but it's hard to put them next to each other and really compare because the lighting is different, the clothing is different, but we can all tell she's like going towards her highest weight. I don't see her getting any bigger now. I guess I've gotten used to her using the phone as a camera, but I'm pretty sure she's still gaining because we would be able to tell even with her switching from camera to the phone if she was losing weight, and she's clearly not. And so, yeah, I don't want to make this too long. I'm already over 30 minutes. I just wanted to react to this really quick. So no real change, just babbling. But again, whatever works. Or a combination of hauls, talking about books, and brushing her hair in front of the mirror seems to be working. Her income hasn't dropped any. She's steady at around $3,000 a month before tax, that is, though. And so, yeah, let's see what she does. I'm out. I'm glad it's the weekend, and so let me know what you think, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.